Welcome to my channel. Coin Worth Million. Today video is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of coins, top 2 quarter dollar. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. So let's get it started. The 1998 United States quarter dollar represents a pivotal moment in American coinage, not for its intrinsic value or material composition, but for its position as the final standard design year before the momentous launch of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. As such, it serves both as a historical bookmark and a numismatic prelude, echoing a century-long tradition of the Washington quarter design while signaling the dawn of a new era of collector engagement and cultural commemoration. This coin, minted in the penultimate year of the 20th century, was produced in large numbers at multiple facilities, most notably at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. It features the enduring image of George Washington, whose profile has graced the obverse of the coin since 1932. But the 1998 edition marks one of the last times this design was used, without the contextual augmentation of state-specific reverse imagery. At its core, the 1998 quarter is composed of a clad material, copper, and nickel bonded over a pure copper core. This composition, implemented in the 1965 switch away from 90% silver coinage due to rising silver prices and hoarding, had become the norm by the time of the 1990s. The coin's diameter is 24.26 millimeters, its thickness is 1.75 millimeters, and it weighs 5.67 grams. The reeded edge is a familiar tactile and visual element of the quarter dollar, helping to prevent fraudulent shaving or clipping, a technique of theft that dates back to the earliest days of coin usage. Despite these details seeming commonplace, each metric encapsulates a century of U.S. mint engineering evolution and consideration for machine readability, vending compatibility, and durability. The obverse of the coin remains dominated by the stoic profile of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. This portrait is based on a bust created by the French neoclassical sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon in the late 18th century. Houdon's bust is often celebrated for capturing the real likeness of Washington during his lifetime, and Flanagan's rendering aimed to reflect both dignity and democratic simplicity. Around Washington's profile are the inscriptions, Liberty. The top, In God We Trust, to the left, and the mint mark to the right, either P for Philadelphia or D for Denver. The date 1998 is located beneath the truncation of Washington's neck, completing the classical symmetry that has defined this design for decades. The reverse, in its final iteration before major redesign, retains the iconic eagle motif introduced with the series in 1932. This heraldic eagle, clutching a bundle of arrows and standing on an olive branch, is surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America above, E pluribus unum just below, the top arch and quarter dollar along the bottom. The symbolism of strength and peace, through the dual imagery of arrows and olive branch, reinforces the ideological framework of the American Republic. This reverse design remained largely unchanged for 66 years, and in 1998, it served as a quiet epilogue to a venerable chapter of U.S. numismatic history. From a production standpoint, the U.S. Mint struck hundreds of millions of 1998 quarters across both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Approximately 896,268,000 were produced at Philadelphia, and 821,000 at Denver, totaling over 1.7 billion coins. This robust output was driven not only by the general need for circulating coinage, but also by the anticipation of collectors gearing up for the upcoming 50-state quarters program. The economic and collector interest in coins surged in the late 1990s, a phenomenon partly fueled by nostalgia, economic prosperity, and increased hobbyist communities growing online and through numismatic organizations. Therefore, while the 1998 quarter was intended for circulation, it also became a part of pre-statehood quarter hoards and accumulations by collectors seeking pristine examples. In proof form, the San Francisco Mint issued both clad and 90% silver versions of the 1998 quarter as part of the annual proof set and silver proof set offerings. These coins, struck with highly polished dies and multiple strikes for a mirror-like finish, are distinguished by their S mint mark. The silver-proof coins were especially coveted, not only for their aesthetic qualities, but also as a final nod to the silver era of coinage. For collectors and historians alike, these proof editions symbolize the closing of a conservative and uniform period of U.S. coin design and the onset of a diverse, state-celebrating era that began just 1 year later. Beyond physical and mintage data, the 1998 quarter also holds socio-cultural significance. It circulated at a time when the United States was experiencing relative peace, economic expansion, and increased national reflection as the millennium approached. American currency, including coins, became a medium through which history, culture, and pride could be expressed. The quarter, being the most widely used and recognized U.S. coin, became a canvas not only of daily commerce, but of collective identity. Though the 1998 design was unchanged for decades, it still bore the weight of symbolism, tradition, and familiarity in a rapidly modernizing world. Next coin. The 1992 United States quarter-dollar coin, commonly referred to as the Washington quarter, represents a significant point in the lineage of American numismatics, carrying not only the portrait of George Washington, but also serving as a bridge between the earlier commemorative styles of coinage and the modern era of more intricately designed currency. This quarter, minted in a year of political, technological, and economic transitions within the U.S., continued the design tradition that began in 1932, when the quarter was redesigned to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. The obverse, designed by John Flanagan, features a profile of President George Washington facing left. Around the bust appear the inscriptions, "Liberty above," the national motto "In God We Trust" to the left of the profile, and the mint year 1992 centered at the bottom. Depending on the mint, a small letter P, Philadelphia, D, Denver, or S in San Francisco, appears to the right of Washington's ponytail. The reverse side of the 1992 quarter still adhered to the original heraldic eagle design created by Flanagan, which showcases a majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings clutching a bundle of arrows, a symbol of military preparedness, with 2 olive branches beneath symbolizing peace. Above the eagle is the national legend, United States of America, the motto E pluribus unum, directly beneath that, and the denomination quarter dollar below the design. Though the Washington quarter would later shift in style and symbolism, with the release of the 50-state quarters series beginning in 1999. The 1992 coin marks one of the final years of the standard eagle reverse before a transition into state-specific designs that revolutionized collecting habits in the U.S. From a metallurgical and production perspective, the 1992 quarter came in multiple variations, including the standard clad composition and special collector's editions. In 90% silver, the standard business strike quarters produced at Philadelphia and Denver were composed of a copper nickel-clad outer layer, 75% copper, 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core, with a total weight of 5.67 grams and a diameter of 24.26 millimeters. The reeded edge and silvery color contribute to the quarter's distinct and recognizable tactile and visual qualities. These business strike coins were intended for general circulation and were produced in massive quantities, with over 384 million coins minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and more than 389 million minted in Denver, marked D, reflecting the robust economic activity and cash demand of early 1990s America. However, the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions of the 1992 quarter, tailored specifically for collectors. There are 2 types of proof coins for 1992, the standard clad proof and the prestigious 90% silver proof coin. These silver coins were included in the special silver proof sets, and their composition and finish make them prized among numismatists for their frosted design elements and mirror-like fields. The silver proof quarter holds additional appeal for collectors not only because of its intrinsic metal value, but also because 1992 marked the return of 90% silver quarters in U.S. proof sets for the first time since 1964. This reintroduction helped spark a new era of numismatic interest in high-quality silver coins. The mintage for the 1992 S-clad proof quarter was approximately 2.8 million, while the silver proof version saw a lower mintage of about 1.3 million, both indicating exclusivity compared to the mass-produced circulation coins. These proof coins were struck multiple times with specially prepared dies to enhance their detail and finish, and their packaging in hard plastic cases preserved their condition, which is crucial for retaining collector value. Today, these silver quarters are not only appreciated for their aesthetic qualities and silver content, but also for their place in a shifting U.S. minting strategy that sought to balance tradition with growing collector demand. Condition, as always, in numismatics, plays a critical role in determining a coin's market value. A typical 1992 quarter found in circulation is worth its face value of 25 cents, though examples in uncirculated or mint state condition, graded MS-60, MS-70, can fetch higher prices depending on eye appeal, luster, strike sharpness, and absence of wear or contact marks. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can be valued at a few dollars each, while high-grade proof coins, especially silver versions graded PR69 or PR70 deep cameo by services like PCGS or NGC, may reach significantly higher prices. The silver proof coins also carry the added value of silver bullion content, which fluctuates with global markets. Errors in varieties can further increase value. Collectors may seek out double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other minting anomalies, although few major varieties are well known for the 1992 issue. Culturally, the 1992 quarter sits at an intersection of American numismatic and historical timelines. It came at the close of George H.W. Bush's presidency and on the cusp of Bill Clinton's election, marking a shift in American politics and generational power. Economically, the U.S. was recovering from a brief recession, and in the numismatic realm, the coin hobby was gaining renewed momentum thanks to the growing availability of coin information via books, conventions, and later the internet. The 1992 silver proof quarter in particular hinted at what would become a growing trend of blending bullion and collector markets, a fusion that would become highly visible in the next decade with the issuance of state quarters, commemorative coins, and bullion pieces like the American Silver Eagle. In this context, the 1992 quarter represents more than its face value or simple functionality. It embodies a moment in time, a symbol of American continuity, and a herald of coming innovation in coinage design and minting technology. In global and historical perspective, the 1992 U.S. quarter remains a relatively common yet significant coin. It speaks to the resilience of U.S. currency design, with the Washington portrait enduring longer than any other obverse in American coin history until its eventual replacement on some coins by Laura Garden Fraser's original 1931 design in the 2020s. This continuity underlines a national reverence for tradition, particularly in how foundational figures like Washington are remembered through everyday currency. The eagle reverse, likewise, though considered simple by modern standards, harks back to traditional heraldic symbolism that connects the nation to classical forms of power and identity. Though the design would be replaced after 1998 by state-specific themes, it remains beloved for its clarity, balance, and emblematic patriotism. In conclusion, the 1992 United States $quarter coin carries historical, aesthetic, monetary, and cultural significance. It functions as a monetary tool, a collectible object, and a cultural artifact. Its variations, including the standard Philadelphia and Denver issues, as well as the San Francisco clad and silver proof versions, each offer different appeals to different types of collectors. Whether examined through the lens of minting, technology, design history, market value, or national symbolism, the 1992 quarter plays a quiet yet powerful role in the broader narrative of American coinage. Its continued circulation and preservation in collections ensure that this piece of the 1990s continues to resonate well into the future, securing its place in the fabric of U.S. economic and artistic legacy.